Hey, what up, guys? So, coming to you this morning. I'm sorry, I had a lot going on the last couple days. I wanted to do the preview earlier for the weekend, but we can get it done now. So, tonight we're kicking off. We got 3 cards the whole weekend. Tonight we're kicking off on the Zone, which is probably going to have a full card starting at 4 as it normally does. But there's 2 big fights to pay attention to. Pretty good fight. Well, I wouldn't say huge, but 2 fights that matter. The first one on the undercard is going to see Gabriel Rosado, former world title challenger, tough middleweight. A lot of people know Rosado, always willing to trade. He's taking on Polish contender Maciej Sulecki, who Sulecki's a guy that went at it with Danny Jacobs last year, went 12 rounds, fought him tough, but got knocked down in the 12th round and lost the decision to Danny Jacobs. There's a big middleweight fight right here. The winner is likely getting a shot at Demetrius Andrade in June for the WBO world title. So, big time matchup right here. I think it's going to be a pretty decent fight, but I'm going with Sulecki to pull off the unanimous decision over Rosado and punch his ticket to his first world title shot, which would be big. And he's not a bad contender, so I think he's a good contender. I got him ranked. He's tied for 9th right now. Or no, he's tied for 10th on my list. So he is a top middleweight. He's a tough guy, and I'm looking forward to seeing this fight. Should be a decent middleweight fight tonight on the Zone. Now, in the main event of the Zone, you're going to see Tevin Farmer, the IBF 130-pound super featherweight champion. He'll be making his next kind of stay busy defense against undefeated but unknown Jono Carroll. I think Farmer's going to dominate the action here. It's just a stay busy defense here. Dominate the action, score a middle to later round stoppage, possibly, or a unanimous decision because Farmer doesn't have big time power. But Farmer's very good. He's mixing it up a lot. He's won a lot of fights in a row. He's now the IBF world champ. And talks going forward. It's possible him and Gervonta Davis could be attempting to unify belts later in the year. So you just got to wait and see what happens there. But, I'm looking forward to this one. I think Farmer should dominate the action, get a win. And he is an entertaining guy to watch. Very good boxer, and he's been mixing it up ever since he won the world title and even before that. He's been willing to mix it up more instead of just box. And, his fights have been pretty entertaining. So should be interesting. That's tonight on the Zone at the whole card starting at 4 o'clock. Then Saturday, Fox pay-per-view, you got a big one. The whole card, it's going to be a 4-fight card starting at 6 o'clock. And the 2 fights on that are kicking off the show, personally, I don't even know one of them, but the other one's going to see Chris Arreola. Arreola always puts in, whether he wins or loses, he puts in entertaining fights. So that should be an interesting heavyweight bout. But the 2 fights that really matter, first the co-feature, David Benavidez, undefeated former world champ. He's returning after pretty much a 13-month layoff. He's taking on Jalen Love, a Mayweather Promotions guy. Benavidez, a win here gets him a world title shot again against Anthony Durrell later in the year. He tested positive for cocaine, so they stripped him of his title, but they left him, once his suspension was lifted, they left him as the number one, basically as a mandatory challenger still. And now he's going to shake off the rust of over a year off against Jalen Love, and hopefully that's going to lead to a title shot. But again, Benavidez, guys, is one of the most entertaining guys in boxing right now. He's young. I think he's 21, 22 years old. He's already been a world champion. He's entertaining. He's got a lot of power, and he throws combinations he can box too. Definitely want to check this guy out. Jalen, not a complete pushover, but I think Benavidez is going to dominate this fight. I think he could score a knockout in the early to middle rounds. Maybe it goes a little late. Maybe Love surprises us and goes a distance, but I really think Benavidez is coming to steal the show, and he has a chance to do that here, and I think he's going to win this fight by knockout. So Benavidez wins. And then in the main event, you got Errol Spence Jr. against Mikey Garcia, 2 undefeated pound-for-pound type fighters. I'm trying to see how Mikey can make this an interesting fight, and I can't wrap my head around it. It's not to say that he can't, It's just I can't see this being a close fight. I think Spence is too big, too talented, too good, and I think he's going to dominate the action. Mikey, though, maybe he's got a trick up his sleeve that I'm not seeing here, but I'm predicting this fight to end by a TKO in the later rounds, possibly a unanimous decision for Errol Spence, and he retains his world title going forward. So, that's my prediction on that fight, but it's a big time fight. Make sure you're paying attention and you watch. And then to close out the weekend on ESPN, there's a whole card on ESPN on Sunday. I wouldn't expect much from this. It's just, if you guys want, I'm probably going to miss it myself, to be honest. But it's some guy named Michael Conlan, who's on the rise right now. He's I think he's a featherweight contender. And he's taking on, he's facing some nobody, just staying busy. But he's an entertaining guy. Throws a lot of punches and, mixes it up. Irish contender. He's fighting on St. Patrick's Day. So if you guys are bored on Sunday and, want to check out some boxing, there's going to be one on ESPN. I think that starts at noon that day too. So check it out and see what's going on. But that's the preview and predictions for the weekend. I hope you guys have a good, safe weekend out there. And I will talk to you next week with the recap. And we'll also be doing, we'll get to our What's Next series. Again, breaking down Sean Porter and some of the fights from the March 9th stuff that happened. And, should be a good weekend of boxing. Check it out. True Boxing, been hit with the truth.